again. I am super excited to finally share my mini album with you guys that I've been working on forever. Not really forever, since November, but I was trying to figure out how many hours I spent creating this mini album, and I think it's over 100, and it became fairly elaborate, but it's done, and I'm super excited to share it with you guys, and I'm not even sure exactly how to go hold it and go through it and stay in frame and everything. But this is an album that I made of all of my favorite photos of my two girls from the ages of about 2 to 10-ish. So it holds 61 photos. There's one duplicate photo in here because I didn't realize I had used it already. But I started with a chipboard mini album, and I used the Prima Nature's Garden collection and a lot of my own embellishments and a lot of embellishments from Prima. So let me start going through it. If you want to pause the video and grab a cup of coffee, do that. I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit lengthy. Hopefully I can get it all in one video. So let me get going. So the first thing I did was covered all of the pieces of chipboard with the Prima papers, front and back. And then I just started each layout individually. So this is the cover, and just a little metal frame. I used this brown like ribbon tool throughout the project. Made a little chipboard piece here. And one of the other things I did a lot of prep for this before I actually started the album. Probably a couple months of gathering items that I wanted to use. I spent some time coming up with quotes that were about sisters. And so this is one of my very, very favorites. And some of, what I did with some of the quotes, a couple of the quotes I made up myself, but some of them I would find a quote and it wouldn't be exactly what I wanted, so I would just, change it a little bit. But this one says, "She is the heart beating outside my body, the key keeper to my soul." And hopefully I can get through this video without crying. And then made a couple of flowers, altered a couple of flowers, put a whole bunch. I'm going to stand up and sit down here so I can do some close-ups. Doily, some of my book leaves that I make, just a little bit of bling, some metal flowers. Put some ribbon behind here. So that's the cover. And while I'm standing, I'll open up to the first layout here. So this album, the only way to display it is for it to stand because it's so ridiculously chunky. I don't know how practical that is, but I do love it. So here is the first layout. I'll do a close-up of this side, and I'm going to I tried to do a unique photo kind of layout or way of displaying the photos on each section. So I'll show you those. There's a little book of photos in here. And I spent several days just making flowers for this album and leaves, and use some burlap in there, and then, tuck in some of the Prima leaves and a stick pin and some trim, and there's a little keyhole over here with the little girl peeking through from the back side of the paper. And then same thing on this side, but I'll go through each side. So over here we have this little book that unclips. I did some, oh my goodness, I forgot I did all this behind here. Did some embossing on a dress form and some hearts, and then put this little piece of seam binding with some stamping on it so that I could get the book to stay in the little pocket, and made this little trinket says sisters on it. Oh, I don't know that I'm going to be able to go through every little detail, but I made this book, and on the front of it it says, "My sister and I, friends are we, best friends will always be." And it has 4 pockets, and I sewed some gold thread through the middle to attach the ribbon. And then I made 4 tags and did some stitching on there. And so there's my daughters. This is Mia and Anya. You'll see lots of photos of them in here. I'll just quickly go through those. They were in a play here, and that's on our front porch. And I did all the photos in sepia. This is my little bit more mellow daughter, and this is the crazy one. She's not crazy, she's very spirited. Oh, and then there was a picture of them in the tub. And then this was at my parents' in Florida. And like I said, these are when they were much younger. They're 11, almost 12, and going on 16 now. So that was that little book, and it tucks inside this pocket. And like I said, to get it to stay in, I just clip it to the piece of ribbon. And then, so this is the second page, and it says Love Laid Together, and there's a Prima tile and another flower display. And then this has a magnet closure, so I have that picture. And there's a little magnet under this butterfly and under the little piece of paper here, and then it flips through different photos of them. It's getting ready to get on the airplane to go see Grandma and Grandpa. This is where we went fishing one year and on the beach. And that was out by our garden. And then I just, I tried to work around the Prima papers on each page because I just absolutely love them. And this is a piece of chipboard I had cut out with Tim Holtz die and put some of the papers on top of it. And then this little saying says, "The best of news is so much sweeter when shared with my sister." So, okay. And then that just, the little purse holds that closed with the magnet. Alrighty. And then here is the next layout, and I tried to make each 2-page layout coordinate color-wise, although all the papers and everything coordinate. This was a little chipboard piece. I used half of the gate, and I put some enamel embossing powder on there. Did another just spray of all different types of flowers and little embellishments. It says friend down here. And then there's tags that tuck in here. And back behind here it says, "May your paths always lead back to each other." And then these are just simple tags that I made, did a little bit of stamping on there. Girls in their PJs at the park. This is one of my favorite photos of them just playing out on our front sidewalk. And getting ready to go to dance class. This is the photo that's in here twice. My girlfriend was going through the album. She goes, "You know this photo's in here twice?" And I didn't have any extra photos to replace it with, so it's in there twice. That's okay. Right. Next side. And a lot of these, like this in particular, I had been spending some time going through YouTube videos, and I had a notebook where I was jotting down lots of notes of different things I wanted to try. This is a saying that I actually made up that I really love. It says, "Come to my garden party, come and have some tea, bring memories of the two of us, hand in hand, you and me." That's the one that's going to make me cry. But a couple years ago, we actually had a big garden party, and both of the girls invited friends. So this, I had punched holes through this big chipboard Prima piece and just tied it to the chipboard behind, and it made a really great pocket. And just flowers, little metal piece there. But this, I don't know if I could go back and find the tutorial. I found someone who had made this on YouTube, and I don't know that I did it exactly the same way, but there's a photo on the front and there's a photo on the back. This photo, when I had taken it, it looked so vintage to me. The way it came out kind of pixely, and this was just at the airport when we were leaving Grandma and Grandpa's, but I just thought the picture itself looked like it was from years ago. But there's 2 tags on the side and 2 on top, so it actually holds quite a few photos. So let me get the back one out first. So it has a photo in the back, and then photo in the front. And so there's just these 2 little pockets, and basically it's a piece of paper that's folded in half and then folded this way to create all these pockets. And I put some things that were sentimental to me that nobody else would really even know about except for maybe my girls and I. This little bird hung on a necklace that I wore for years, and I don't know, something happened to the chain, but I took the bird off and put it on this heart with some tulle. And then there's 2 tags in here. I just made one a little shorter than the other, and there's just 1 pocket in the top from where the paper folds over. So I love this picture when we were at Disney one year, and we turned the corner, and my little one had never been to Disney. Well, she had been when she was a baby, but not to her recollection, and she turned the corner and saw Cinderella's castle, and she like gasped. It was so cute. And that was them helping me in the yard, getting ready to go to school, at school. So again, those go in here. So this album I made for myself, but I told my girls upon my departure someday that it is for them to keep and share. Okay, so what I did is I think there's 5 layouts in here. 3 of them are the girls all together, and then I have 1 page of each of the girls individually. So this is Anya's page. Let me do a close-up here. I have a bunch of tags in here. Little girl peeking out through the bottom there, and this tile says you are wonderful and love, little key. And then over here this all opens up. There is a little box over here, a little metal thing. It says passion, and then it says amaze. She always amazes me. And then I can close that later. It has a little flap that closes, so let me start over here. And again, I had to use a little clip to help hold everything in. Oops. That goes back there. So yeah, because see all these little tags fall out without the clip. So I just used a Tim Holtz clip and some ribbon and little key. And just made this tag with a little like fairy button and doily on there to hold these 3 tags together. So we're blowing bubbles and apple picking. Oh, this is another one of my very favorite pictures of her and my crazy little girl. And then on the back I just put some words. It says, I think I can. Need to hear that down a little bit better. I hope I can, and I know I can. And I just love those papers. And then 1 more little tag of her and a little cherub. Some lace. Everything in here is inked, and this was a chipboard piece from the collection. So I just kind of tuck this in this pocket, or this under this piece of ribbon, and then you need instructions on how this is all held together. I just clipped that down so it can't come out. And then this is another flower that I had made, some trim, tile. I had several of these little metal pieces that had little words on them. This one says dream. And then again, this is a magnet here. This was a closure that I had received, so I actually put a magnet under here, and then there's a magnet on the inside. But this all opens up like that. So I have 5 pictures of her in there. This is at our local park that has an old-fashioned carousel. Love that picture of her. But like I said, these are all my favorite photos. So it says hope, wish, spirit, and deer. And that just closes up. Magnet holds that closed. And then this layout is both my girls are dancers. And so this is all about dancing. And this was another quote that I had made up or altered. It says, I watch my sister dance. She is graceful and true. I watch my sister dance and think I want to be like you. And my little one does just want to be like her older sister. It's so sweet. So a chipboard piece here. Other little embellishments, and then just some tags. That's Anya getting ready for recital. And Mia when she was much younger at recital. She is like my dancing queen. My older one doesn't dance quite as much. She just takes some ballet these days, but this one is dancing every day of the week and absolutely loves that. My little angel. So those go in that pocket. It says dance. And this one was at the studio. Just made a little bottle cap. I sewed a whole bunch of these tags at once one day, so I had them all ready to go. And here's the duplicate picture. But I wasn't getting that off of there. It's all stuck down, so that's fine. And then put this quote in here. It says, I want only a familiar voice, someone who knows me, my sister. And then, originally I was going to put this on the cover. I had the Prima Nature's Garden stamp set that went with the collection, and so I had stamped this and painted it and stickled it and did all kinds of things to it. Hold it still. And then I didn't end up using it, and I had this tag in here, so I just put it on the back of there. And then another one of my very favorite pictures. So this page already had this cutout hole in here. So I put that photo in there before I covered the back with paper. Some chipboard pieces, flowers. All the embellishments are really the same, just flowers. And I have these chipboard vintage letters that I love. It says beautiful. So yeah, I had put a piece of plastic in there, put the photo in there, and then covered, put the paper over that. So that one I kind of had to think about before I had done it. And then this is Mia's page. These are all pictures of Mia. I did a really big flower layout here with some stick pins. I love this stick pin here. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure. But it has this beautiful piece on top that you can tie a bead or whatever you want to it. And just some loose little charms here. It says, I did some little distress layering of letters here. Up here it says, cherish every moment. And I specifically put that on her page because she is my daughter that just never stops, goes 100 miles an hour all day long. Her brain just never stops. But it says faith and love. Yeah, I just made a pocket here with some ribbon and some layering of some papers and trim. So pictures of her, though. These are getting pretty old because she's, like I said, this has got to be about 14 years ago. That's at school. On the back of this one says, be true to yourself. This is her in New York City on her birthday. And that was in Central Park, I believe. Getting ready for school. And then over here, oh my goodness. This closure on this, I'm not kidding, I think it took me 2 hours to figure out how to do it. This is a closure for like a book or maybe a necklace. It had the little piece that was supposed to slide in here. I think it was a necklace. But I love this piece, so I attached it to the paper. Then this is a book that slides out, and there's a magnet. Where's the magnet? I don't even know how I do this. There's a magnet under here. So when I slide the book in, and I'll show you the book. When I slide the book in back here, this comes up and holds it in because there's a magnet there. So I don't know why, but it took me forever to figure that one out. So let me show you the book, and it says, I believe this is one of the Tim Holtz metal labels, and just put some layering papers back behind there and use glossy accents. It says Hope. And then I actually made a little book where I had sewed the little signatures in here, and this was like frosted vellum paper. Oh, again, picture is very old of Mia just sitting in our old house in the front porch with her teddy bear for her birthday, the little ballerina cake, getting ready for school, and at the park chasing the ducks. And then just use some washi tape in there actually to help stabilize the paper. I find when you use one piece of cardstock and you're bending it a lot, it will tend to rip. So I put actually fabric tape around the outside and some washi tape on the inside. And so that goes back in here. And I put that same trim on the top, and then one of my favorite little pearl little bobble pieces there. Oops, excuse me. And then it says loving you. And then the back says friends forever. I had just really, these weren't flowers I made, but I had altered quite a bit with my super gloss and distressed dry glitter. And it says, she knows my heart, my fears, my dreams, guides me without thought, loves me like no other. She is my sister. Okay, gonna try not to cry again. So that is my mini album. Oh no, I have one more thing. Let me move these a little bit so I fell out. This is, and I put this charm on the side. This is a bottle cap. This is a cork charm that I recently received in a swap from Christy, who is Twins for Me Too here on YouTube. And she had made me this charm, and it was out of the Nature's Garden collection. So as soon as I received it, I knew I wanted to put it with my album. And I love this piece of bling she put on the bottom. The only thing I did is I just took, she had the white tulle on there, which I just added a little bit of gray ink to because the book was so vintagey. And then I just took a couple of the same trims, especially this, that I had used in the seam binding that I had used in the book to just help it really blend in with all of the other items that I had used. So I hope she doesn't mind that I added a few more things to it, but the cork itself that she made with all the little dangles and the beads, I mean, it coordinated so perfectly with the book. So thank you, Christy. I just absolutely love that I was able to use this with the book, and you can see it just blends right in. So that is my labor of love, my project I've been working on forever. I'm so happy to be able to share it with you guys. If anyone has any questions or would like more details about something specific that I did in there, I'd be more than happy to share it, but I see that the video is already over 24 minutes, so I'm going to cut it off here. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.